again, everybody. This is Mr. Everything. I'm coming at you with a channel update for my Wargaming channel. This is my YouTube channel, Twitch channel update. If you're watching this video, you're probably following my stream, my live streams, my video uploads, my Wargaming in miniature videos, my tutorials, my Star Citizen videos, my XCOM videos. Okay, so in the month of April, actually ever since February, I've been doing a lot of painting. I've been painting Napoleonic figures like mad. So like I would dedicate probably 3 to 4 hours a day painting. Like I would get home from work, let's say 6 o'clock, and I would paint till maybe 7 or 8 o'clock. No, that's not really true. I wouldn't get started painting until probably about 7 or 8. But I would paint till like 10 o'clock. I'd watch a little bit of TV. Then I'd come back and I would paint again till like 2 a.m. So I've been doing at least 4 hours of painting per day for the last 4 months. Okay, February, March. Okay, 3 months. February, March, and April, right? May is coming up real soon because today's the 30th. So in May, I'm going to finish up some painting. We're going to have the French finished, and then I'll touch up the Quatre Bras stuff, and that will be a completion of that Quatre Bras project series that I've got. Because on June 2nd, we're actually running a game in Nashville at a convention called NashCon. If you haven't gone to that convention and you're a miniature gamer, you should definitely check it out. It's one of the best ones in the area. So it's run by the HMGS Mid-South. So if you're into Historical Miniature Gaming Society, you probably already know about it. They play a lot of Napoleonics, Civil War, Ancients. In this, a couple of months ago, I put up the list of games, which I'm sure it's changed. I haven't gone in and checked that recently. That's probably another video I could probably do, because I'm sure it's getting close to the convention. It's only a month away. I'm sure the game list has expanded, so we should probably check that out. Go to nashcon.org, I think it is. Yeah, check that out. All right, what else are we doing on the channel? Well, I've played a lot of XCOM previously, and I took a hiatus away from playing XCOM because I've been painting. But just recently, I got my email letting me know that Phoenix Point is going to, which is a computer game, which is going to a backer build. So if you're a backer, like I am, you can get access to the beta, which is going to be released tomorrow, right? It was originally supposed to be last month in March. They pushed it back, and then they said they were pushing it back to the 30th, which is today, and then they pushed it back again, and they said it was going to be the 2nd. And I was like, oh no, it's going to be the 2nd. But then I got my email today, and it said, or last night, and it said it'll be out in 24 hours. So and the only reason why I got that email is because I was up and I was painting. But at 2 a.m. is when it's supposed to release here in Clarksville. So they have it set up to come out like 7 o'clock or 5 o'clock or 7 o'clock, 7 o'clock I think. UWT, which is I think Universal World Time, which is Greenwich Mean Time pretty much. So yeah, and we're 5 hours different. So I think it's 2 a.m. Okay, so when that comes out, my plan was to do streaming of that. I was going to stream it live, talk about how great it is, because I'm a big XCOM fan from the original XCOM. When I was in the Army the first time, and actually it was the second time. When I was in the Army the second time, and the XCOM was out, and I was in Germany, and I was playing XCOM, and every day I would come into work and I would talk about the newest monster or the newest creature we had to fight, or who died, or how the missions went, and everybody was enjoying my storytelling time, basically. But now now the XCOM creators created a new version of XCOM called Phoenix Point, and it's a different change. It's more of a H.P. Lovecraft themed alien. This alien is more of a horror type alien and less of a like gray alien. Okay, so but either way, what I'm trying to say is this month of May, I'm probably going to stream a lot of that. So keep your eyes open for that. I have a couple of videos up that are kind of unique. I've got painting tutorials. I've got a video where I painted the Umber Hulk finally. I was planning on doing that back in February, and just with all this Napoleonic painting, I've had to ease off. But I painted the Umber Hulk. He's ready to go for my D&D game. I've painted a few models here and there, not a whole lot, mostly Napoleonics, to be honest. And I played some XCOM in anticipation of Phoenix Point, and I played some Star Citizen. Star Citizen is going through a update where they're in 3.1, and they've gone through 3.1.1, 3.1.2, 0.3. They're on 3.1.4 Bravo. That's what it was last night. I don't know what it is now. It might even be different. But they've really increased the frame rates, and the crashes have been reduced. So they're not getting a whole lot of crashes, and the frame rates have been increased. And it really helps with streaming. So that's a good thing. And I've moved my streaming over to the GPU to take the pressure off the CPU, so that because Star Citizen uses CPU when I play it uses a lot of CPU, like 60%, and then my stream, when I had tagged it with the CPU originally, I didn't realize that I could switch it, actually, to be honest. It pushed my CPU up to like 90% usage. And so by switching it to my GPU was, because Star Citizen doesn't really utilize the GPU yet, the graphics processor, it stayed around 20%, around 20% usage, which is minimal, right? Even though I got this monster graphics card thinking it was going to help, and it didn't. So by switching the processing of the stream to my graphics card, which is not being used, it will ease the CPU processing, which would make it run Star Citizen smoother. So yeah, I've already tried it a couple of times, and it has helped. It's brought the total usage down to 60 to 70%. That's a 20% drop. So that's with streaming it at 60 frames, which and the game playing at 25 frames, which I was thinking that's way better than I was doing. I was like 10 to 15 frames in the game, and I was streaming at 30 frames in the stream, and I was at 90% CPU usage. So that's a big switch for me. So that I think that's going to help on my streaming. Okay, another thing that we got going on is I took a commission. Well, first of all, I got a video coming out. I've got these showing right here. I got a video coming out where I'm going to compare the paints here. These are clear coats. I'm going to compare, like dull coats. I'm going to compare these today. In a few minutes, we're going to compare these. And that'll be a video coming out real soon, actually. I got another video where I compare black primer versus black paint and primer. And when I did a research on that, I found out that they are not getting rid of their primer in lieu of the paint and primer. They just have a new option, which is the paint and primer. And I honestly didn't like the paint and primer version. It was too shiny. So I went with just the black primer, and it's really flat. I like it. Okay, so look at that video. I did a few other videos where I painted figures. I don't remember what they were. Didn't do any tutorials on gameplay. Didn't do any book reviews. Really, that's all I did on the channel, really, was just paint those figures. And the Umber Hulk. Okay, so then recently I had a old friend of mine contact me to paint some D&D models for him, and those are in this bag right here. There's 4 models. There's a druid, a warlock, a rogue, and a wizard, and he wants me to paint those for him. He got the figures already, provided me the figures. Now, of course, I charged him to paint these, but I'm going to videotape painting these for him, and so I'm going to upload it mainly for him to see how I did his figures, but also for you to watch so you can see how I did his figures, and that way you can maybe learn from it or not, or just to see the techniques. There's a couple of things I'm concerned about in these figures. A couple of them have clear, because they're wizards, they have like clear magical effects on their hands and stuff, and I can't just prime the figure black, because what it'll do is it'll ruin that clear spell effect. So what I think I'm going to do is tape up or use Elmer's glue or something like that on the spell effect, and then just peel off the Elmer's glue once I prime it, or peel the tape off once I prime it, and that way I'll have the figure primed, but the spell effect will still be clear, and then I can go in and hit it up with some ink or something. That's what I'm planning on doing. We'll see what happens with that. All right, so you should see some painting tutorials, or painting, I guess they're tutorials, for these fantasy figures, and they're the same ones. They're the Nolzers, whatever this brand is called, the Nolzers. They're D&D 5th edition figures. I got to assemble a couple of their bases first. That doesn't need to be filmed. I'm going to show you the video about this. I'm going to do Phoenix Point tonight at 2 o'clock when it comes out. I'm going to check that out. And that's pretty much it with the channel right now. I'm going to continue streaming Star Citizen. Nothing really spectacular is happening until June, because every 3 months they have a major update. And so nothing really spectacular is going to happen with that until June. So that'll be next month. And we're still cruising along with our D&D game on Wednesday night. I keep promising to maybe videotape some of that, and I keep never pulling my camera out to do it. And so I'm not going to promise it, but maybe it'll happen one of these days. Possibly. We'll see. All right, guys. That's it, really. So thanks for coming out and subscribing to my channel. I really appreciate you guys. If you want to help donate or support the channel, please do. If you can't, no big deal. Don't worry about it. But if you can, I would really appreciate it. And hopefully I'll see you guys down in NashCon next month. See you next time.